Hello, I'm Tauni. Welcome to Yoga 413. Today I have planned a power yoga Vinyasa flow practice for you. This is going to be best suited for someone who practices yoga on a regular basis or at the bare minimum is familiar with the basic yoga postures. As always, I will give lots of options and just encourage you to enjoy your time on the mat. So with that, if you like this video, be sure and hit that like button below. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and step onto our mat and get started. So we're going to begin our class today in a kneeling position like I am, or you're welcome to just take a comfortable seat on your mat. Let's sit up tall, close your eyes, and just begin to connect to your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And with every exhale, I encourage you to just let go of distractions or anything that might be weighing on your mind today and just choose to set it aside, taking this time for you. Long, deep, steady breaths. Beginning now to engage your Ujjayi breath. If you're not familiar with this style of breath, that's fine. Just continue breathing. Bringing your hands to your heart center. May your practice and your time on your mat be a blessing to you, both physically and mentally today. And I invite you to set your own personal intention. Let's open those eyes and begin to reach your arms up over your head. And then as you exhale, palms together, exhale down through the heart. So beginning to match breath and movement. One more time, inhale. And exhale down. We're going to rise up onto all fours. And begin to flow through cow and cat. Inhale, opening up your chest and lifting your tailbone. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin towards chest. At your own pace. Again, in a Vinyasa flow practice, you work towards matching breath and movement. Beginning now to awaken all those muscles around the spine, into the hips, shoulders. Let's find a neutral spine. Tuck those toes underneath you and then go right back to that kneeling position. Let's stretch into the bottoms of the feet as we raise our arms up, taking that right hand to the center of the back. Stretching out those triceps. And I won't hold you here too long. This can get kind of intense on your feet to reach those arms up again and switch sides. But this is a great stretch. Good. Let's come back up. Bring those hands forward. Toes tuck, hips up. Downward facing dog. Start to pedal out your feet. Just alternate bending those knees. Stretching all through the backside. And just noticing your foundation as you come into stillness, into your pose of down dog. Fingers are spread wide. You're putting weight into those fingers. Hips are lifted and those energies coming down through those heels as they reach for the mat, even though they may never touch. Let's step the feet to the top of the mat. On your next inhale, lengthen the spine to a half lift. Those hands can come to the shins. Exhale to fold, softening those knees as much as you need to. Gently turn the head side to side and forward and back. Just releasing any tension out of the neck. And we're going to roll it up one vertebrae at a time, scooping those ab muscles in and then arriving in Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's begin our Sun Salutation series, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale, swan dive and forward fold. Lengthen the spine as you inhale to your half lift and fold. Stepping back to plank pose. Let's drop our knees to the mat and slowly as you exhale, lower all the way down. Inhaling, lifting the chest for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Begin to look forward, stepping to the top of the mat. Lengthen that spine. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up, using the strength in your back body. Bringing the hands to the heart center. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale and fold. Lengthening half lift, open up that chest and fold. Stepping back to plank pose. Shifting forward on your toes, exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Cobra is your option. Downward facing dog. As you inhale, look forward and step the feet to the top of the mat. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Hands to heart center. Again, inhale, reaching up, just warming up the body. Exhale to fold, Uttasana. Half lift, Ardha Uttasana. Exhale back to that fold. Stepping back to plank pose, fingers spread wide. Shifting forward for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. On that next inhale, look forward, step or float the feet to the hands and fold. Inhale, rise up. A nice flat back when you come up, hands to heart center. As you inhale, sit back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. If you're adding that float, be sure to land with soft elbows. Good. As you inhale, sweep that right foot up. Exhale, bring the knee through the chest, step that foot forward for warrior lunge. We're going to keep back heel lifted today. Just find that pose. And as you exhale, come back down to the mat, flowing through the half series through chaturanga, elbows in. Upward facing dog and down dog. You always can take that out and just go to down dog if you prefer. Inhale, the left leg lifts up. Exhale, stepping forward. Find warrior lunge. So all 10 toes facing forward, front knee over ankle. Finding your pose. And then exhale, take it down to the mat, stepping back and flowing. Be really mindful here of your shoulders, not dropping below your elbows in that chaturanga. 3 deep breaths. Looking forward, step or float, and fold. Sitting back into chair pose, arms are strong, straight, standing up for Samastitihi, steady balance. Let's sit back into our chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flatten that back. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg sweeps up. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, rise up for warrior lunge. Exhale, right back to chaturanga, flowing through that half series. Sweeping that left leg up and back. Stepping it forward with the breath. Rising up. And exhale, taking it back down. Vinyasa flow. At least 3 deep breaths here. Connect with that breath. Looking forward on that inhale, step or float. And fold forward. Sitting back into chair pose. Hands to heart center. So hopefully starting to build some heat. Let's sit back into chair pose. Exhale and fold. Lengthen that spine. Stepping or floating back to chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. One more time through, right leg sweeps up. Stepping that foot forward. Rising up for warrior lunge, crescent lunge. Coming back down and flowing. That left leg sweeps up and back. Stepping forward, rise up. Beautiful. Let's hold in downward facing dog. Take your time getting here. Beautiful. We're going to start to walk our hands backwards. Coming into that fold. And then drop the hips, sit back into chair pose. So we're going to start to balance on that right foot. Just pick the left foot up. Knee is bent. One leg chair. Good. Let's try the other side. So placing the left foot down, lifting the right up. Placing both feet down, bring the hands to the heart. Let's roll to the balls of the feet. Find balancing chair and begin to sink into your legs. That back stays nice and straight. Hold and breathe. Shaking is allowed. I feel myself shaking. You're doing awesome. Let's reach it back up, stand it up tall. Exhale, fold forward. Walk it back out to plank pose. Shoulders over wrist, hold plank. Eyes slightly forward. Keeping that back of that neck nice and long. Hips up and back for downward facing dog. So we're going to keep our hips square this time. So begin to lift that right leg. Toes are going to point down, press through the heel. So that leg probably is not going to come up quite as high. And then as you exhale, bring that knee to the chest and hold high plank. Lift that knee a little higher into the chest. And then look between the hands, step that foot forward. Find warrior lunge. Good, so we're going to tuck and drop that back knee just to hover the mat. And then slowly start to press the back heel down. Good, rebend that back leg. And then straighten. One more time. And hold. Open up into warrior two. So that back heel is down. So we're going to try that as well from warrior two. You're just going to straighten that forward leg. Make sure that knee is going right forward as you bend. Good, again. And you're gazing forward. But you want to be sure you're not starting to tilt and reach forward. Good, last time. Hold the pose. Warrior two. Now start to reach forward as we go into our angle pose. So if you wanted a more supported option, you could always bend that elbow above the knee. If not, just hold here in angle. And let's take that top arm, palm faces behind you, wrap it around. See if you can come into that half bind, gripping onto the thigh. So from here, we're just going to straighten that forward leg, moving into triangle pose. Take that bottom hand wherever you need it. Still line over that forward leg. Again, you want to be sure on this one you're not falling forward. Let's lengthen that top arm up and rise back up, coming back to warrior two. Good. Let's circle those arms to the mat, step back, flowing through that half series. Returning back to downward facing dog. So hips are square. So lead with that heel and the inner thigh, just lift that leg up. Then as you exhale, draw that knee into the chest for that high plank. Lift that knee up, tuck, step that foot forward, coming in to warrior lunge. Good, so start to tilt that pelvis, drop that back knee anywhere near that mat, and then slowly straighten that back leg. Try it again. So bend and straighten. One more time, bend and straighten. Good job. Let's open it up into warrior two. Take a moment here to find your pose. And then again, we start to add movement. So we inhale and we straighten. Exhale and sink. Again. Last time, then we hold. Beautiful job. So from here, we're going into that angle pose. So lengthen, coming into your angle, either with elbow bent above the knee or take it on down to the ankle or the floor. Find that alignment. Maybe turn your gaze up to the ceiling. And then that top arm is just going to reach behind, coming into your half bind, grabbing onto that thigh or maybe even your shirt. Good, now start to straighten that forward leg. Careful not to hyperextend, finding that half bound triangle pose. Then start to reach that arm up over the head, come all the way up and return back to warrior two. Good, take that inhale. Then as you exhale, circle to the mat, Vinyasa flow through chaturanga, through our back bend of up dog, downward facing dog. So hips square again, lift that right leg up. And then exhale through. Remember to lift away from the floor, step that foot forward. Warrior lunge. Ooh, lost my balance there. Open up into warrior two. Start to lean forward. We're going to go right into that angle pose. Choosing to stay here or coming into your half bind, or some of you might choose a full bind if it's in your practice. You could also use a towel here. And then slowly start to straighten that leg for bound triangle pose. Again, careful not to fall forward. Beautiful. Start to just release, lengthen those arms out and come up for warrior two. So now we're going to take that back arm and just sweep it forward. Lift that back heel, coming back into warrior lunge. Bringing the hands to the heart, start to lengthen forward. We're going to add a twist, twisting prayer. Elbow goes to the outside of that knee. Or another option is one arm down, one up. We're going to slowly untwist. And this time, we're going to just step that right foot back and hold a one-leg plank. Point that toe. Lengthen that leg. Hold. Careful here, you're not holding your breath. Keeping that leg lifted, shift forward, chaturanga. Placing it down, coming into upward facing dot. Down dot. 3 deep breaths. Let's try all that on the other side. Lifting, square hips, squeeze that glute. Exhale through that high plank. Lift that knee up, step forward. Warrior lunge. Exhale to warrior two. Start to inhale and lengthen. Exhale, coming into your angle pose. Choosing your option. Maybe you're choosing to half or full bind. And then begin to straighten that leg for your bound triangle. Start to reach those arms up, releasing out of that bind. Come up, find warrior two. Taking that back right arm, sweeping it forward as that right heel comes up, back to warrior lunge. Hands come to the heart center. Begin to lean forward, twisting prayer. Begin to untwist, hands to the mat. When you're ready, step that left foot back, point that toe, one leg plank. Shifting forward, one leg chaturanga if you want to add it, and then place the tops of the feet on the mat for up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So once again, you're just going to walk the hands backwards to the back of the mat. Let's lengthen that spine, take the hands to the waist, and lift up to stand. Let's balance. We're going to balance on the right foot to begin, and I'm going to actually turn and face you. You can stay where you're at, wherever it's comfortable for you. Hate facing away from the camera. We're going to balance on that right foot. Pull that left knee into the chest. And then just guide it open. You can keep that hand on that knee. Just open up those hips to the side. Let's bring it back and release. Let's try that on the other side. So find that foundation, grow tall, good posture. Bringing that knee up. And then guiding it out to the side. So this is going to be your option to repeat this and bring it down. Let's go back to the other side. So that's how I'm going to start you. So just bring that knee up to the chest. Now you can choose to go ahead and open or take those peace fingers around the big toe and add standing big toe, extending the leg, again, pressing through that heel. Whatever pose you're in, start to bring it back and release. Shake that out. How did it go? I'm sure you did great. Let's try the other side. So again, knee to chest, find your balance. And then as you begin to open, maybe big toe or keep that knee bent. Good. Bring it out and release. Shake it out. If you're not at the back of your mat, still step back there. Let's reach those arms up. Exhaling, forward fold. Let's walk it back out to that plank. And this time we're going to drop to our forearms for a forearm plank. Or if you prefer, you could stay up on the hands, but I think we're probably tired of being on the hands. So let's come onto that forearm plank. Just hold. So really reconnect to your breath. You are strong. You're lengthening through the crown of the head and back through those heels. Good. So now we're just going to drop our knees to the mat, lower all the way to the mat. Sweep those arms to your sides and lift into locust pose, lifting the chest, lifting the back of the legs. Good. And go ahead and rest. Just place the chin on the top of the hands or take an ear to the mat. So one more time, we're going to sweep those arms back, lift into locust pose, and make the choice to stay here or bend the knees, reach back for those ankles, and coming into bow pose as you press into those hands. Be sure those knees are hip distance apart. You're not letting them come out. Good. Let's go ahead and release out of that and press it back to a child's pose. All right, so let's go ahead and come on up and just have a seat on your mat. Let's do one boat pose. So just find those sits bones, lean it back, arms reaching, lifting the feet up off the floor, and then maybe trying to extend those legs. Good, let's release, extend those legs out. Toes up, sit up nice and tall, reach it up, exhale it over. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, relax. Going to start to come up and roll it down one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. Once you're down, hugging those knees into the chest, gently rocking side to side. We're going to take our feet to the mat and press up into a bridge pose. Walking those shoulders together, maybe interlacing. You're welcome to stay right here, or if wheel pose is in your practice, you can just, from that bridge, place the hands up by the ears. Your elbows should be able to go straight up. If they can, maybe continue pressing into your back bend or wheel pose. Whatever pose you're in, start to lower it down. Let's release and hug the knees into the chest. Nice job. Let's take it into a hip stretch. So we're going to just cross right over left, trying to stack the knees as you bring both feet up off the floor, reaching for the ankles or maybe even the shins. So kind of like handlebars. And then gently pulling down. It's a great stretch here for the hip. Probably going to feel it most on this one on that right leg, since the right leg's on top. Let's release out of that and then switch sides, cross left over right, stacking those knees, feet come up, and gently pulling the ankles down. Let's release. Let's go ahead and extend that left leg out to the mat. Pull that right knee into the chest. And then cross it over the body for your spine twist. Keeping that right shoulder connected to the mat and turning to gaze down that right arm. Let's come back onto the back and let's just switch sides, lengthening the right leg out, pulling that left knee in, and dropping into your spine twist. Coming back onto our back, moving into our final resting pose of Savasana. Just extending those legs, your arms are by your sides with the palms up. Closing your eyes and just let your just normal breath return. This is probably the most important pose of the practice. It's just taking time out of your day for stillness and quiet. I'll be back in just a couple moments. Let's take a nice big breath in and start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Maybe rolling the ankles, the wrists. And then bending the knees and just rolling over onto that right side. To pause. Acknowledge something or someone that you're grateful for today, just the quiet of your hearts. Helping yourself up to have a seat on your mat. You did amazing. Thank you so much for joining me for class today. Let's bring our hands to our hearts. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Have a blessed day, everyone. Hope to see you again in class soon.